to talk about Tom Brady, who sat down with Jim Gray at the Milken Institute Global Conference in California, asked a number of questions. The one that got all the attention was this. He was asked whether he feels happy and appreciated in New England. Here's what he said.
Do you feel appreciated by them, and do they have the appropriate gratitude for what you have achieved?
I plead the fifth. Look, man, that is a tough question. Yeah, I think everybody in general wants to be appreciated more at work, you know, in their professional life. But there's a lot of people that appreciate me more than, you know, way more than I ever thought, you know, was possible as part of my life.
Are you happy with the people you work with and for?
Yeah, I would say absolutely. And in general, you know, I'm a very happy person. I'm a very positive person. It's just my personality. I always look at things as, you know, the glass is half full. And, yeah, I mean, I think there's different times that when you've been on the same team for a long time, you've had relationships for a long time, they, you know, ebb and flow like every relationship, but there's no people I'd rather play for or be committed to than the team that I've been with for a long time.
So reaffirming his commitment to the Patriots. Look at Ryan Clark, who's got a big smile on his face, ready to chime in with us here, and just oozing handsomeness, I might add today, Ryan, in the outfit.
My guy.
But I didn't mean to sidetrack us, though. What did you make of those comments from Brady? Because everyone in the country was psychoanalyzing it yesterday.
Well, you know, the funny part is he was just telling the truth. We don't expect these things to come out of New England. We always expect New England to have a united front. But there were some reports last year that relationship between Coach Belichick and Tom Brady was becoming fractured, and that there were some different things that were going on between the two of them. And you know this, Greeny, you've been married for a long time. A lot of time, appreciation is accompanied by compromise. And when you don't allow Tom Brady's trainer to be around, when you get rid of certain people that he wants to be out there, when there are some things that go on that he's not you know, talked to about it, that he's not brought in on, he's going to feel like he's not appreciated. But what Tom Brady is dealing with is what everybody deals with, whether it's at work, if you play a sport, if you work for Getup, you're going to have some times where you want some things done that just aren't. There are going to be some times where you don't feel appreciated. And like he said, it's the ebb and flow of any relationship. So I don't read too much into it except for what we always thought from outside of New England, from outside of the Patriots locker room, has been shown in the recent months and now to be a little bit different than what we've always heard.
Can I disagree a little bit? And I want to keep Ryan in on this, but we're gonna bring it to the table as well. I think that what you're describing are all the normal things that have happened probably with Brady and Belichick and any people in that combination over the years. But I think Tom Brady is aware that Bill Belichick had made up his mind that Brady's era was done or almost done. That Belichick was ready to move on to Jimmy Garoppolo, and the owner had to step in and not allow that to happen. And I think that goes beyond, I'm not suggesting it means that their relationship is fractured beyond repair, but I believe that goes beyond the normal stuff that we get in he's too hard on me in practice and those kinds of things in a relationship. Agree or disagree?
I mean, look, we work in an industry where, especially women, where we're always going to be replaced. I'm going to be aged out of my job at some point. I'm very aware of that. It would be unrealistic for me to think that that's not going to happen. Am I going to fight every second of the way out? Absolutely. Would I be angry the same way Tom Brady was most assuredly angry? Absolutely I would. So yeah, just because maybe that's the normal progression of things, that doesn't mean I have to sit there and like it. The other thing is, like, what did we expect him to say? The I plead the fifth was a little corny, and I agree with you. That was definitely a planned moment. Fine. But everything he said after that, 100%. If he had come out and said, yes, I believe I am completely cared for and everyone loves me, then we would have been like, oh, look, New England robots. We don't need that.
Well said. And are we really overanalyzing this? Because say there is some dysfunction in New England. It probably pales in comparison to what's happening around the league.
That's true.
Like, so these are like first world problems. And he did say that he loved working for the people that employ him. And that means Mr. Kraft and obviously working with Bill Belichick.
RC, let me let you respond just real quickly because I disagree with
Greeny,
you.
What you explained was the natural progression, as Michelle mentioned, of every football player, of people in all of these type of jobs where youth reigns supreme. And I understand Tom Brady may not feel totally appreciated, but what makes him different than Joe Montana? What makes him different than Terry Bradshaw? All of these all-time greats, these Hall of Famers who finished their careers in other places than where they won championships. championships. And so I think a little bit of this is Tom getting to a point to where, you know, Michael Jordan eventually got Kobe, eventually got LeBron, where they just kind of say what they want and don't hold things to themselves. But Tom Brady's no different than any other all-time great, even if he is the greatest, and he just has to deal with the way that things are done in this league. And Belichick has more than likely been right with many of the decisions he's made.
Fair enough. Now, let me play one more from yesterday. Brady also asked if he would play this season, given the report that he was undecided about returning. This was another interesting answer.
I will be because, you know, I have personal goals. I want to keep playing. You know, I've said for a long time I want to play to my mid-40s. You know, and I was told 3 years ago, when I was 36, 37, you know, you can't keep playing. Like, you can't. No one wins Super Bowls. Like, John Elway, he won a Super Bowl, I think, 37, 38. Like, you know, why would you keep playing? You're not going to win a Super Bowl. And, you know, that's a great challenge for me. I think I've been challenged my whole life, and I feel like I can do it. I feel like a lot of things I've learned over the years in terms of the evolution of my routine and how efficient I am, you know, I can keep doing it because, A, I love to do it. I'm willing to make the commitment to doing it, and I have a great plan. I have a great, you know, system in place that works well for me in order to keep me performing at my highest level.
Ryan, what do you think of that?
Yeah, I don't disagree with him. They didn't lose the Super Bowl because Tom Brady didn't play well. They lost the Super Bowl because they couldn't stop a nosebleed when they were playing against a backup quarterback in Nick Foles in the Philadelphia Eagles offense. Tom Brady believes he can play into his mid-40s. If you watched him play last year, an MVP season, I definitely believe it as well. And, you know, it was a little TB12 plug as well in there for Tom Brady. I spoke many times about the dude that ran the 40 named Tom Brady when he was coming out, that 6th-round draft pick who ran a 5 too long in the 40, would never be expected to be the guy that he is, would never be expected to overcome the adversity and the obstacles it took to be the Tom Brady we know today. So you guys can doubt him. Bill Belichick can doubt him. I will not. If he wants to continue playing in the style of play that he has, I believe Tom Brady can do it.
Tom Brady rewriting the way we view this stuff, Beetle? I mean, he's supposed to be too old to do what he's doing, but LeBron James is also supposed to be too old to do what he's doing, and so is Roger Federer. Do we need to rethink how we view too old in sports?
Yeah, and I think we evolve as well. With the amounts of money and resources that these guys have, you can extend the life of your career more than most people. I mean, we see it, you know, in the entertainment world as well. Some people have found the secret to youth, J-Lo, and they have figured out a way to get better and better. It's not for everyone. And look, there is going to come a day when he's going to wake up. I don't know when it is. I can't tell him that he's going to get out of bed and be like, nope, that's it. We're done. My body's done.
And as sports have become more popular and so many people have been able to profit off of them, the goal is now how can we get more out of the modern day athlete? So that lends to them having the opportunity to play longer beyond the fact that they've been exposed to different medicines and all of the levels of technology that allow them to have that awareness to put them in position to play longer.
I want to play one more soundbite because, to me, Ryan, you and I sat next to each other at the Super Bowl this year, and the most curious story clearly was Malcolm Butler not playing on defense at all for the Patriots. Brady was asked about that.
Do you know why Malcolm Butler didn't play? You said you would have liked to have seen him play.
Yeah, I did. This side of the room is the offense, and this side of the room is the defense. We don't interfere with them much. I didn't know. Malcolm kept coming over to me during the game. He's like, come on, TB, let's go, you know. And I kept going, what defense are we in where Malcolm's not on the field? Is it like, you know, short yard goal line? And then after the game, I didn't know, and I asked Malcolm, and Malcolm said, I don't know, coach has just decided something different. And I said, okay. So I don't know what was a part of that decision-making, but, you know, I know we were trying to win the game. I don't think we were trying to do anything but win.
So that's his explanation. Ryan, what did you make of that?
I mean, I felt like we sat next to each other the whole game trying to figure out why he wasn't playing when they were out there getting torched by Nick Foles and the Philadelphia Eagles. And you heard Danny Amendola say he felt like Malcolm Butler should have been playing. Now you're hearing Tom Brady say he wished he would have been playing. And there's been no one that has said that that Bill Belichick, that Matt Patricia, that the New England Patriots were on the side of right with this Malcolm Butler situation. There's been some people to say that they don't know what was going on or what happened, but no one has come to the defense of the New England Patriots. And I think that's telling because as I thought, as many other people thought, we all felt like Malcolm Butler would have helped this team, that Malcolm Butler was a better option to be in the game than some of the backup defensive backs they had to play in his absence. And I will never understand it. I don't know why it would happen. And obviously Tom Brady, Danny Amendola, and many of the New England Patriots that played in that game and lost that Super Bowl feel exactly the same way that everybody else does outside of Bill Belichick.
And you heard him say, and it's remarkable that he even has to say it, I believe we were trying to win. I mean, the notion that you have to even say that in the Super Bowl, and let me make it clear, I've been extremely critical of that decision by Belichick. I believe Belichick was trying to win. I don't know what the heck was going on with this, but I think this is Brady holding back. Because if I'm a player on that team, it would be very hard for me not to say, where the hell was our best defensive player?
But as media members and Brady, you can't have it both ways. You did exactly what Tom Brady did. On one hand, you said they were trying to win the game. On the other hand, you're saying you wish Malcolm Butler would have played. So in other words, what you're saying is you believe in Bill Belichick. Will we be having this conversation had they won?
We'd be having it much less. I mean, at some point, we would still be looking at it and saying they got torched. If Brady drives them down and scores a touchdown at the very end, what you're saying. So their defense still played terribly, but Brady pulls it out. We wouldn't talk about it as much.
Here's what happened, and I'm glad Malcolm Butler, I felt like he should have played. I'm glad he got his bread this offseason, but what I'm saying is, what happens in sports is we judge the result and who's making the decision. So if Saban benches Jalen Hurt and puts in a freshman and they lose, then he gets criticized. He puts in a freshman at halftime and they win, we say he's genius.
I disagree with that. I disagree with that.
Go, Ryan.
And here's why I disagree with that. If the Patriots lose the Super Bowl because Tom Brady throws 2 interceptions and the defense only gives up 17 points and they give up less than 250 yards passing, we aren't questioning this. If Johnson Batamosi and these guys who are the backups play extremely well in the spot that Malcolm Butler would be in, I think we talk about it less. It's the fact that Nick Foles and that passing offense not only dominated all game, but was able to dominate on the game-winning drive, throwing a touchdown to Zach Ertz to win the game. And I think when all of these things come into play, when Alshon Jeffrey goes off and all these different things happen, it doesn't really matter what's going on with the wins and losses. It's about how that particular position played. And I agree, if Tom Brady drives him down at the end, we're asked this question less and it doesn't matter as much, but it's still a factor when the defense plays the way it did.
And I want to further my point because Malcolm Butler actually came into the game, I think he was a 6th-round draft pick, and replaced somebody else too. Nobody knew who he was until he made the big play in the Super Bowl. We're not even talking about the guy's spot he took. So had the person that got put in the game for Malcolm Butler did the exact same thing, it would have been looked at the exact same way.
Fair enough, but he was getting annihilated. I mean, torched the whole game, and they never made any adjustment whatsoever. It is an impossible thing to understand, and that's why I've continued to talk about it as much as I have. Belichick is the greatest coach ever. He knows the in Bill we trust thing is every bit as much real as the in Pop we trust thing. He has earned the benefit of the doubt to make decisions that you question.
But
this is what I don't get. I mean, I don't get it at all.
On his deathbed, it's going to be.
Tom Brady said that he felt like they were trying to win the game.
Well, I believe he was trying to win the game. I don't think he's throwing the game, but boy, I will never understand, and he'll never explain it. All right, Ryan's going to stay with us. Now, Thursday night on ESPN at a special time of 6 Eastern, we have Game 2 between LeBron and the Cavs and the Raptors. So that's, and would you say got a special pregame show for that?
Yeah, we're going to go ahead and give you guys one. They're at 5 o'clock, little NBA countdown.
Let's
for your
get
enjoyment.
it. We have that into LeBron and the Raptors. Like all our games, it's available on the ESPN app as well, so you can watch wherever you may be. And Ryan's going to stay with us because coming up, more football conversation. The future of the sport, it feels as though it hangs in the balance to a large degree. This new study about youth football, issues with your brain, Ryan Clark has very interesting thoughts, and you'll hear them as we continue next.